This week I had a free pants pattern I wanted to make. I had a beautiful summer floaty sleeve blouse that I wanted to make, and I wanted to catch up on some of my embroidery as well. So how did I do? Let's find out together. Hi there, I'm Christine the Gemini Stitcher. Welcome to my sewing space. Did I stick to my plans? Well, you know what the answer's going to be, don't you? It's going to be no, because I never do. But my plans are just a loose idea of what I'm going to do that week, and I do get some of it done, so it kind of works. So what did I actually do this week? We'll start with a positive, shall we? Because I did make my woven blouse. Here it is. I made the FLUTTER sleeve blouse from So Different Patterns. I wasn't sure what it was going to look like in a check fabric, but actually, I like it, and I will wear it with jeans. So if you want to see this in the flesh and how I got on making it, I'll pop the link, because we did it as a sewing challenge as one of my vlogs a day last week. So I'll pop the link for this below and you can have a look how I got on. But I will turn it inside out, because I've promised, one of my pledges, well, to myself as well as to you guys, is to improve the finishes of my garments. And the only way I can do that and stick to it is by showing the insides and showing you what I've done. So let's start with the facing. I've used the clever trick of sewing the facing wrong sides together with the interfacing along the outside edge, then flipping it and ironing it, and that's how you end up with that nice neat edge on your facing. Loving that idea. I've even remembered to put a label in this one, which is something I'm shockingly lacking in, labels in my garments, so that's one that I need to improve, but I've managed to do it on this one. The sleeves have been done as French seams, and I'm, getting better at doing those and quite comfortable doing a French seam on a sleeve. It's even worked out really well, even though this one's got loads of gathers at the top, so pleased with that. French seams in the sides, and then let's put it the right side out again. Can you tell I'm quite proud of this blouse? I think it's a bit Marmite-y. Some of you went, ooh, don't like those voluminous sleeves. I love them. So talking of the sleeves, on the sleeves I've done the wave stitch on my overlocker, baby lock overlocker setting. Some of you asked what thread I used. I've just used standard overlocker thread, and I have used solid colours, pink and cream, so that you can see the design. I did think about using variegated thread, but when I tried it, you couldn't see the design very well, so I think plain colours work better. I'm going to try it with embroidery thread, I think, next time, and see how it comes out, but that was the first time of doing it. And I've done it on the hem as well. So that is my FLUTTER sleeve blouse from So Different. Let's move on to the one that I was excited to make, which was the Mellow free pants pattern from Maison Fauve. So how did I get on with the Mellows? Well, the jury's out, if I'm really honest with you. I've used this stripy fabric to make a toile, and phew, I'm so glad I did. Now, I sew Maison Fauve patterns quite a lot, and I am a size 40 in their patterns, so I had a quick look at the sizing measurements, and yes, it did put double checked, and I was happy to cut a size 40 out. So I sewed this up when I went to Steph's to sew last Wednesday. on a positive note, I'm loving the side detail with that little inset there. I haven't put any piping on these, thank God, because they're a toile. I love how the pockets come together. They fold over on the inside, and I've put a bit of bias binding on the end. See, even if it's a toile, I'm still doing my high-end finishes, or what I'm classing Christine high-end finishes on them. So I was really happy with how everything was going. I even pattern matched the pockets on the back. Amazing. I did move them slightly from where they were meant to be on the mark lines, but hey, poetic license, I'd rather they lined up. So we were at the point of trying on before I put the waistband and then the elastic in the back, because the way they do the waistband is a bit of head scratcher, so I was going to have to watch the sew along. Brilliant sew along. Thought, right, before I do that, let's try on. And I'm just going to put it up here because I think it says it all. Massive on me, massive. Definitely not a standard Maison faux sizing. And oh, I was so disappointed. I know they're a toile, but I was enjoying making them and thinking, yeah, these are coming together great. I can't wait to make the real ones. But I'm going to have to do something about the sizing. I was going to carry on with these and take them in at the centre, front and back, to try and make them fit, because that's the only place I can take them in, because the side seams have got those sections in them, so that wouldn't be easy to do unless I took it all apart. And when I tried it on at Steph, she pointed out quite rightly, you've got to take a load out of the front, because those sections have got to be, they're a feature and they've got to be at the side. So I couldn't just say, oh, never mind, we'll just cinch it in more with the elastic, because it would pull that out askew and it would be near the back instead of sitting, because the front is a flat front. So yeah, what's a girl to do? It would mean taking a load out of the front and then they might not sit right. So to be quite honest with you, they've gone in the naughty corner over there, and I am not doing the mellows. I'm not doing them. I'd have to go down at least 2 sizes, do another toile, try them on again, and I just haven't got the headspace for it. So maybe I'll review it at a later date, maybe next spring, because I do think they're a summer type fabric, summer type pattern. Maybe I'll review it and do them next spring. Let me know if you've tackled the mellow, and if you did, on my recommendation when I said, oh, there's a free pattern, get this, it's gorgeous. I apologise, because they aren't coming out true to size. Not for me anyway. If you've made them and you've made them work, let me know how you did it, please, because I fell out with them and I'm not going to touch them. Not for a little while anyway. So I made the blouse that I committed to. That's 1 tick. And I tried to make the mellows, so and I would have made them if they'd fit, so I'm classing that as done. So that's 2. The other thing that I was planning on doing this week was setting up my machine as an embroidery machine, and I failed because I didn't do it. I swerved and changed my mind and started to look at my quilt kit that is being ignored for quite a while, and I need to get cracking on it. So it's a Made Love from Beth kit. I've got the first 3 months of it. It's a foundation paper piecing kit, so I thought, oh yeah, I can do that. The only foundation paper piecing I've done is big squares that are a beginner sampler quilt that I did at my quilt class. So I've gone from, I don't know, 10, 12 inch square to these. Now, if I hold it back here, looks quite good, doesn't it? This is the third attempt, and this isn't the fabric from the kit. This is fabric in my quilting stash, which isn't a big stash. It all fits in a plastic tub, so we're not counting it. But it's still not quite right. This is the second attempt. So the middle is a bit not right there. I'm not happy with that. Everything kind of lines up near perfect, but for some weird reason, this piece here I've cut shorter than the others. Why did I do that? And it'll be me who's cut it and cut it wrong. So that is, in quilting terms, that's a huge difference, isn't it? But other than that, the back looks nice and neat. So I'm happy with how that's going. So I'm going to make another trial one to try and get it perfect before I commit to my beautiful fabrics, because let me show you the fabrics that you get in this kit. Oh, they're to die for. Before I show you them, I just thought I'd show you the templates that you get. So this isn't for that one. Every block is getting harder and harder, and I'm stumbling at block 1. So block 1 has got 4 sections to each section, and there's 12 sections to make the hexagon. So block 2 goes up a notch and it's got 5. So that's what they look like. And you cut those out into those triangles, and then you use those to sew through and create your little wedges and then sew them all together. So I'm not doing it blind. There is help and there's really good instructions, and they do have a sew along for them. So it's just attention to detail with me. I need to slow down. What I tend to do is think, right, I'm doing this, that's going to take me an hour. And I make it take an hour. So if I'm lagging behind, then I speed up, and then the concentration goes, doesn't it? So I need to be more mindful. I don't want to set myself targets. As long as what I achieve is as perfect as I can possibly get it, then that's all right. So how am I going to get cracking with this quilt? Because I've not been doing it. So I think what I'm going to do is allocate an hour every day that I sew to doing some of that quilt and concentrate for that hour, and then put it to one side. So that's my plan. If it means I only get one of those little wedges done, but it's perfect, that's absolutely fine. And I think that might work for me. We'll see how we get on. So let me grab the fabrics. I did say I was going to show. So as I said, you can buy this kit. You can buy the whole kit all at once, or you can buy it in 3 parts. So you get 3 months for each. I think that's right. So yeah, anyway, I think that's right. I bought 3 months anyway. There might be 4 of them, because that would be a year then, wouldn't it? And I think it was a yearly thing. Not 100%, but look at these. It comes with more than enough fabric that you need. Oh, look at that one. Oh, just show you a few of them. Oh, and that one. Oh, I love them all. Look at them. And it's great for me, because part of the battle with me as a beginner quilter is choosing fabrics that will all work together and work for the quilt. So that hard work's been done for me. I've got them all here. I've got loads of them. Oh, I'm drooling. But I did go gung-ho. I was naughty. And I thought, no, I've done paper piecing, I'll be fine. And I tried making one of them and I cut into these fabrics and it was a mess. It was a mess. Just a mess, that's all I can say. So Steph had a word with me, thanks Steph, and persuaded me to use fabrics that weren't precious. Even though I said, well, I've got loads of it, it doesn't matter. She went, no, don't use that fabric till you're happy. So that's what I'm doing. I'm going to do another one in my scrap fabrics. It's all the pieces are cut out. I'm going to work on it this week, do an hour a day, and we'll see where we're up to next week. And then it might be time to do my first block out of these. So you can help me choose the fabrics for my first block next week. Fingers crossed. Yesterday I went down to Cheshire to the social down there that's run by Clara Bobbin Sews. I love going there, they're a great bunch of ladies. It's only the second time we've been and we had a blast. So a huge thank you to the two ladies who sat at our table with us. We had a good old laugh. We did get a bit of sewing done. And as usual, I didn't get as much done as I wanted to. I took the Comillas dress with me from Itch to Stitch. I thought, take a pattern company who I'm comfortable sewing with and then hopefully I won't make any boobs, because last time I took the Amelia bomber jacket with me and it was a nightmare. So I took the Comillas. I've not made the Comillas before. I didn't get it finished, but I got the bodice done. Just let me grab it because I'm really pleased with this pattern so far. So I'm making it in this beautiful, heavily embroidered chambray fabric. I got this from Cumbrian Crafting in Barrow. So we've got the sleeves in, the bodice is done. The neckline, and I didn't realise until I actually sewed it because you can't see it on the images very well. It all gathers in at the top and it's bias bound finish, which I love. Then you've got two placket sections that cross over each other. I don't know if you can see very well. They cross over at the bottom there. So they're going to look like that when they're on. Now I've done my high-end finishes. We've got our French seams on the inside. I've pressed and zigzagged the edges that can't be done that way. So I got the bodice done and I made a star on the first skirt section. Now you can have the Comillas dress with one tier or two tiers. Because I'm 5 foot on a good day, I'm just doing one tier. I felt 2 tiers would swamp me, too much fabric. Let me know if you've made it and you're on the short side and you've done the 2-tier version and what it came out like, because yeah, I didn't feel like there was enough room from my waist to the length that I wanted it to fit the skirt and 2 tiers in. So I've just done 1 tier. So that's the bodice. I've got the skirt to do. So I'm going to be working on that today. And then I'll bob back later and hopefully show you the dress finished. But let's have a chat about what I'm going to be doing this week. Obviously I'm finishing the Comillas dress off. I'm going to do some jersey sewing. I've got this already cut out. Look at that beautiful fabric. Got this from the Remnant House in Harrogate and it's a stuff Avalon jersey, absolutely beautiful quality. It's going to be a long sleeve Carly top from Sew Over It, and that's going to be great for layering through the autumn and winter. So we're going to get that sewn up this week. And then I want to crack on getting rid of or using up my summer fabrics. I'm going to make a pair of Flaneur pants in this stripy denim, if I've got enough of it. I've not checked how much fabric we need. If I've not got enough of this, I'll choose some other summer weight fabric and see how I get on with the flaneurs. Steph's made them and absolutely love them to bits, so we'll see if I can crack the Flaneur pants a little bit better than I did with the Mellow Pants. Yeah. So lots of plans. I've got the Comillas dress to get finished today, so I'm going to crack on with that, and then I will bob back later and let you know what I think of the sewing instructions and have I got the fit right on the Comillas. So don't go away, stick with me because I'm coming back in a bit. Bye for now. Okay, so I've finished the dress. There'll be a long version of me in it that you can see here. I'm loving the gathers around the collar or neckline here. I think they're really flattering on me. I don't feel like I've got huge boobs. Winner, winner. Loving the little V. I've just got a pin in here, so it's looking a little bit odd. It's pinned. I just need to put some tacking stitches on the inside because it was gaping right down to here. Not a good look in your 60s. Nice little sleeves on it. The 3 channels of elastic, the same as the serrata dress. Again, a bit of a nightmare to get through, but well worth it. I like the look of these 3 channels of elastic. I think they're very flattering around the waist area. Without, if it was thick elastic, ooh, it would feel quite restrictive, but the 3 channels make it really comfortable on the old tummy area. Put the pockets in and you'll see from here the length of it. Now I've done it with the one gathered tier on, and I'll be honest, I thought it was going to be a little bit longer than it is. So now I know that I can fit 2 gathered tiers in just by shortening the length of each tier. I can have a really nice long floaty evening dress. Obviously in a chambray fabric. It's a daytime dress and I think I'll get loads of wear out of it. I can wear it in the summer sleeveless. It's not too long because the fabric's quite heavy, but then in the winter with some nice denim tights and maybe a little polo neck underneath it, it will get worn in the winter as well. So Comillas dress is a winner for me. I do want to make another one and I want to make it longer with the extra tier on the bottom just so I can see what that one looks like. And I have got some plain dark denim chambray, a lighter weight than this, on the way from Pound Fabrics, so I might use that to make another version of the Comillas and do a bit of cheeky embroidery on it as well. So I'm going to love you and leave you guys. That's the sewing done for this week, and I've got loads to get on with. I will see you tomorrow. I think we're going to do some t-shirt sewing and see how many t-shirts I can get made in a day tomorrow. I want to make about 5. Will I get them all made? Who knows? Join me tomorrow to find out. Bye.